Back with Wellington manager Danny Wakeling after a 2-1 defeat at Punjab United today in the SCEFL Premier. Dan, it's obviously not nice to lose, we don't lose that often, but do we have to give credit to Punjab today for getting tight to us, being organised and being gritty and hard to beat?
Yeah, definitely, and especially whenever we've 1-0 up, a classic 5-minute window, 3 minutes before half time, something we're big on and we work on a lot, we talk about a lot. I'll pay respect to them because they played to their strengths, they played exactly how we expect them to, and I actually think if you're the home side today and you deserve that win, irrespective of probably other things we'll probably talk about a bit later. But first of all, I look at myself and I look at our dressing room first, and our lads didn't do enough to get something out of a game of football, not throughout the entire 90 minutes, and our rule is foot to the floor, hard working for 100 minutes, be out there for 10 minutes longer than a referee. We didn't do that today, so therefore how they played, they deserve to win.
Do you think that we went a little bit long, Dan, at times? That's because they were just getting tight to us and we couldn't play, we couldn't get it out and switch it, or?
Well, first 15 minutes we were fine, we got our overlapping fullbacks up the hill fine. I mean, we did make a slight bizarre decision, I think, to go up the hill. I think there was some information passed over to a player about changing things or going uphill. I'm never too sure on that, to be fair. I like to leave that to the lap of the gods. If you win the toss, you lose the toss, who really cares? Don't really think about it. You've got 45 minutes both ways, who cares? We started okay, we got our overlapping fullbacks up the pitch, got the 2v1s in, was getting the ball in the middle and getting out wide, and there was a key moment in the game, about the 16th minute, ball come into the half space, there was an opportunity to turn and drive, which was right, but then Hassan was absolutely free right by the corner flag and actually zip him into the byline and kicked up the momentum game. From that, the lad in possession of the ball at the time had the ball at his feet, looked for a foul, it wasn't a foul, big clearance down the other end, not a good enough transition from us, and from that moment onwards in the first half, we then couldn't get up the hill. So moments can change game, goals can change game, and so in certain moments, and when we were getting the ball into them little pockets and then getting around the corner, as soon as we decided not to do that, and it was a big thumping clearance down the hill, then Punjab got on top of us down the hill and we couldn't get out. And on top of that, we started playing what I call sorry ball, which we were doing first 5 or 6 games, we started playing it out, all taking the ball, tapping it off to each other, whereas if you're playing uphill, you've got to go stick it in there, get it up the park. Get it into the middle, kiss it around the corner and get your fullbacks up. So we undone ourselves twofold in the first half, twofold. And that reminded me of the performance we had in the first 4 or 5 games we were finding our feet. So I'm very disappointed we reverted back to that kind of football, that kind of mentality. But great unbeaten run we've been on, so I'm not going to moan too much.
Absolutely. I felt Hassan was fouled 5, 6, 7, 8 times in the first half.
Minutes.
And the ref didn't do anything to stop it. And then Hassan gets booked in the first half still, and the way the game's going, you're thinking Hassan's going to get sent off here and he ain't done a lot wrong.
Exactly that, yeah.
Do you think that stopped us getting up the pitch, Dan?
A little bit, because he's the sort of person that's going to charge up the park, isn't he? As soon as he gets embroiled in a heated one-on-one with someone, he's a South London boy, he's not going to let that go. But it's still the way we were playing, we still wasn't getting the ball and getting it out properly, like 1 or 2 passes forward and get out and get up the hill, so it's still our fault. Referee, yeah, it was I never like knocking referees, but it's been said he a bit of a homer today, as they would say. But I can't really agree with that. It's not like there was 50,000 people here really, at the end of the day, was there? Shouldn't affect you, but yeah, 100%. Hassan was wiped up, and there was a couple of elbows out there, which he saw, and he said, 1 more of those and you're off. And I think, well, 1 more elbow and you're off? I don't know. Bizarre. I don't think he's had the greatest day.
There was also some dissent going on where there was some swearing from their players that was audible, and he didn't sin bin them, and yet we get sin binned at the end and effectively have to see out the game with 10 men.
Exactly that.
You're disappointed that there's no consistency?
Very disappointed, but I think Ben himself will be more disappointed when he gets to tomorrow. I've had my allowed chat post-game. First time I've had to do that. I normally just let things slide and say someone's had a good day, someone's had a bad day.
Were you satisfied after your chat?
Relatively, I did say to him, obviously there's going to be video footage, so I wouldn't want you to be sort of hammered for it over social media, etc. But if I can take your number and send it to you first, with the clips that we're talking about, it will only help you find solutions to improve in the future. And so, but the one you can't really escape is that when you was told to F off, he screamed it in your face, he screamed it at you, and then when you called him back, he's told you to F off again, and that's foul abusive language, that's a straight red card. Don't get me wrong, we're not all shrinking violets, are we? But industrial language, we might call it, the foul abusive language is a straight red card. Didn't even choose to give him a sin bin. When he said to me he was I didn't hear him swear, I just thought he was a bit aggressive. Then I reminded him that adopting an aggressive stance is also dissent. So that's where he was sort of snookered, I think, a tiny bit. But the referees, it's an arduous task. Without them, we don't have a game of football. Just like next week, when he gets to see the clips, he will learn from it and to be a better referee for the benefit of that.
We had a bit of a spell at the end of the first half, Dan, where we were on top, and then they go and get the goal.
Yep.
Was your team talk to slightly change things at half time, and then they go and score at the end of the first half, and we have to change tactic to what you were going to do?
Yeah, a little bit, because it still would have had the same tone even at 0-0, because I thought they had sort of 28 minutes of that first half. It was 28. The last 28 minutes was them. We couldn't get up the hill. First 15 was probably us. 16, 17 was us. So it didn't really change the tone, but the goal was disappointing. It's a 5-minute window. You're 3 minutes from getting in at half time, 0-0 away from home, not playing particularly well, and then you've got the hill out of the way, so to speak. You're looking for the positive things. I wouldn't say it's a cheap throw and we conceded. Beckett played well, so they made the right decision, hooked it out of play. Throw-ins come in, the first head it round the corner, but the bloke who's put the ball in it hasn't stepped onto that ball as if he's Steven Gerrard against Olympiacos. He hasn't gone through it and really meant it. He's quite surprised that he's got the time to adjust and get on the football and put it back in the net. And I wouldn't say it's thrown in the net, but it's a good goal and a good finish. But we had a player within 3 yards of him. Got to get out to him. 2 minutes from half time, his head was already in the dressing room at that point. As soon as that ball went towards the red shirt, close him down, shut him out, make him take a touch, make him go back to his fullback. You don't concede. Wasn't bothered enough to do that, and that's why we went 1-0 down. Do
you think that some of the players felt we were playing the Punjab of earlier in the season? Because the last 5 or 6 matches, they've been decent, Dan. Everyone else would have known that this is not the Punjab that was earlier in the season that were rolling over for teams. This was going to be a hard game, wasn't it?
Totally. I mean, I approach every game the same way. I didn't play Man United, Barcelona, whatever, or we could play dog and duck. Well, I want to play the same way. I want to put our principles in the park 24/7, and I want a group of players wrapped around me that want to deliver that. Absolutely want to deliver. And I think there was patches today where that desire genuinely to go and put yourself on a football pitch wasn't there. Just wasn't there. It might have been 10% off, but you've lost because you're 10% off. So the boys have been on a fantastic run, don't get me wrong. I'd rather you're absolutely schooled and outplayed and battered by a team rather than you're looking at yourselves and thinking 5% short in there, 10% short in there. He started slow, or he gave up around the half time mark. He didn't get out and shut that shot down, which is his bread and butter in his job. Small things, loads of small things create a bigger picture. So that's more of a concern for me. But they've been on a very good run, and I'm sure we'll get another one.
We go 2-0 down. They're breaking up play. They probably, I think every single one of their players wanted treatment at one stage in the second half. Ref wanted to talk to all their players for fouls as well. So the play's being broken up, which suits them lovely. But then we get back in it, 2-1, good bit of play by Adam, gets a penalty. Yep. Stick it away. From then on, Dan, we really should be taking a point minimum from that game, yeah?
I think so. There were some crazy decisions. I mean, there's certain areas that I look at us at times, and when we're under pressure with the ball in our hands or the ball at feet, we tend to rush and go too quickly, and that kills momentum. I mean, Jack said the goalkeeper, I think he hit Bancroft to the back of the head, 2 yards outside the box, and then we concede a corner from it. Then Bancroft's injured from it. We've had a couple of stationary balls in our half where you just want to start pumping it towards the box, and we screw them across the park. So some crazy stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like when the tempo, when your heart starts beating, some of our players just need to chill, remember their technique is good, go through their processes and deliver the right balls in the right areas. So that's probably an area of sort of mental weakness more than anything else. But the hurrying finish should be replaced by a faster, sharper start. And then you're not worried about the referee, you're not worried about the opposition doing what they're doing. Do you know what? I'd have done exactly the same. I'd have had players going down, heading, it'd been saving Private Ryan out there, mate. If we was in their situation, I'd be doing the same thing.
So they deserve credit, Dan. We're not going away saying, Punjab have put one on us. They've worked hard, they've organised, and they've ground out a win.
I think man for man, they've worked harder than us, and they've got 3 points. Simple as that, and that's unforgivable in our dressing room. That's unforgivable.
And any sides coming here this season, if they play like that, they're going to find it not easy.
No game is a gimme in this league. We're at a level of football where if you don't turn up right, you're going to get beat. If you leave 5% in the car park, you're getting turned over. You're getting done, and I think we deserve that. How it's happened is a bit unfortunate. The free kick that the referee gave was never a free kick against Beckett.
Great strike.
Brilliant strike. I'd like to look at the video and see starting position to see where the wall was set, etc. Being overly pernicious there a little bit, but Beckett was kicked up in the air 3 times, and then the free kick was given against him. That was an ultra poor decision. I have said that to the referee. And And I've said to him that I'm happy for him to have the video analysis so he can look at it himself, and then maybe he might still disagree. That's his opinion, that's down to him. But it was a very poor decision, and ultimately when that goes in net and you're 2-0 down and you've lost by 2-1, that decision means you haven't perhaps got the point that you might have been able to get out of the game. But as I said to the 3 officials in there, I still look at myself first, and players are very close second, and we did not do as much as we usually do, which is why we've been winning more games than we've not been winning. We didn't work hard enough, we weren't tight enough, we weren't fast enough, we weren't sharp enough, we weren't aggressive enough with or without the football. That was not quite us today, and we deserve to get chinned.
So never too high, never too low, Dan. So what's going to happen this week preparing for our next game?
Well, I think everyone looks at us away at Chatham and thinks that's Chatham winning it, sort of 300 or 400 at home. Princes against Paupers, an established football club against Ragars Rovers and that sort of stuff. I think that'll probably suit some of our lads, I think, mentally, because I think when I've seen them come into a place where they look at a league table and go, we should beat them, that's the 5% they leave in the car park. We're going to go to Chatham next week. No one gives us a hope in hell. Everyone's expecting us to get tanned, absolutely tanned. So it'll be a reverse mentality for training this week. It's a free swing. We've gone further in the competition than anyone thought anyway. So who cares? Let's go out and just give it our best shot. That'll be our mentality this week. And if anything, this kind of result today just shows you that if the expected team, with all the pressure at home, with all the people watching them and all the financial backing they've got, if they don't turn it on at home like perhaps everyone assumes they should do, then we might have the opportunity to do what happened to us today. So that could be interesting.
Well, Dan, thanks for coming to talk to us after the game, and we'll see you Saturday for a really good game. Sure, we'll have a great day there, and I'm sure the players will bounce back.
Yeah, 100%. Looking forward to it. Just quickly, the players have done brilliant to this point, so not going to league anyone over or get too angry about it. We'll still enjoy a good beer, and we'll get back out there next week.
Cheers, Dan. See you Saturday.
See you Saturday.